Reason number... As we know, student activists bravely thwarted an attempted guest lecture at Stanford Law about a week ago, where the now self-canceled Dean of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, by way of restoring order to the shout-down, declared 9 times in 6 minutes that she was uncomfortable.
Because I'm so uncomfortable. I'm deeply, deeply uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable, and I'm uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to say. I'm also uncomfortable, and it doesn't feel comfortable. I'm also uncomfortable. That is uncomfortable.
And responding to coverage by the Washington Free Beacon, a Stanford Law student named Mary Kate Hickman sent, and signed apparently, a note to the Free Beacon in which she demanded that they
anonymize the face of the student in the red hoodie.
Is that him? I never noticed until she mentioned it. Because
California is a two-party consent state, and you have no right to publish the student's identity likeness face without consent.
As the Free Beacon point out in a subsequent editorial, the Stanford Law student doesn't know the law. Two-party consent refers to oral communications, not photographs, and only in situations where there is a presumption of privacy, not a free-for-all where everyone is taking videos to post to Instagram. Tangentially, Mary Kate Hickman is now another one who is scrubbing herself from the internet. There goes LinkedIn. There she goes from the Stanford Animal and Food Law Society. And there she goes from her own pet research project on Spanish churches. Ooh, you forgot this, Mary Kate Hickman. Intergalactic law of the internet. Photos are forever. But to my reason for doing this, why bother with language skills? Well, if you got into a scrape, can you imagine having this bimbo as your public defender? Or worse still, as your judge? Or what if you have a lot of money and you can afford to pay a Stanford Law grad $400 an hour plus an ordinary person's second mortgage as a retainer? Can you imagine trusting her? Language skills. You've got to learn to read and write and research and advocate for yourself. And you've got 3 minutes.
With how our tax money is being spent. It's a
Tax
few
is kinda
$1,000s to the
generic,
school district every year.
More taxes,
Property
okay, we got it the
taxes.
first
No,
time.
they were just due for
Yeah, we got
everybody.
taxes.
We pay
Okay, that's
several
of the taxes.
$1,000s in taxes. When you guys are spending
Not
property
taxes
tax
again.
money,
How much of his precious time did he use repeating the same point? While showing up is always admirable, I also suggest you get some public speaking skills. No, really. You've got passion, they've got no comment.
No comment on tonight's discussion?
Nope. Thanks for asking that.
You've got a 6-year-old who's reading a primer on anal sex, they've got the gavel.
But you break the rules left and right. Last month, you allowed 2 people to speak.
We will
without
recess
being
this
on the
meeting
list.
right now.
You've got a major case of outrage over a sexual assault that occurred on campus. They've got a PR firm that you paid for with your tax dollars.
You can talk to our communications director.
But you're an elected official.
You can talk to our communications director.
You're not going to answer any of our questions.
You can talk to our communications director.
One tip I always give, if you can properly use and identify the subject and verb in a sentence, you will be most of the way to the English language skills you need. In fact, you might be ahead of the students who are coming out of Harvard.